what should Luffy's final fight be in One Piece? Emu or Blackbeard? To me, Emu is the only real choice. He represents a force that Luffy has been fighting against since Axe Hand Morgan. That connection is solid. I can put my palms on that, work my fingers in, really just worm around in there. But then I'll hop online and see people talking about Luffy versus Blackbeard being this final grand conclusion to the series like it's a done deal. First of all, I don't even buy that he's his rival. What even makes him Luffy's rival? Oh, he killed Ace. Y'all gotta stop putting Teach's name on Akainu's work. Heck, Sengoku was more concerned with killing Ace. Is he Luffy's rival? Now, thematically, sure, I'll give it up. I was watching a video by Big Dad when he pointed out the contrast between these two panels. Blackbeard says dreams have no end, and Luffy is talking about what he wants to do at the end of his dream. Clearly outlining these two characters, where one sees dreams as goals with definitive beginning and ends, and another character where dreams represent a more all-consuming ambition. Why, it's as if Luffy and Blackbeard are two sides of the same coin. Now you can keep digging here, but this whole leads to counting Blackbeard's teeth to figure out which personality is talking, and as somebody who lived through early FNAF theories, I'm good. I'll take a rain check. I'll take a rain check. That won't get used. I think Oda gets so caught up in themes and symbolism whenever he's writing for Blackbeard that he forgets to give us something tangible. A lot of great rivalries in anime have fights at the beginning of their rivalries that cement the relationship. Naruto and Sasuke fight at the end of the retrieval arc. Goku and Vegeta fight in the Saiyan arc. Luffy and Blackbeard are just sort of expected to have that final fight at the end because they have differing taste in pie. And now that One Piece is entering the final stages of its story, it's too late to have Luffy and Blackbeard have that first initial fight that solidifies like the relationship with each other. Unless you want to count Impel Down, but who's counting that? There are two things Oda might do. One Piece is a fantastic story and it deserves a fantastic villain to end on, and the best villains hurt the audience. When Vivi's trying to stop Crocodile from blowing up the plaza, she finds the secret vantage point, she beats Mr. Seven and Miss Father's Day, she cuts the fuse, and after all that, she finds out that this great bastard set the bomb on a timer. Hell still has to sacrifice himself to save everybody, and you can feel Vivi's frustration. That's why Croco Boy top 5. Teach never reaches that level of evil bad guy-ness. Doffy and Croc, they're kind of the kings of One Piece villains, you know? And Blackbeard isn't evil in that way. He's not controlling things from the background. He is very much in the foreground. If Blackbeard wants something, he's not gonna set up some complicated plan to get it. He's gonna go beat your ass and take it. Brother Luffy does that. Two sides of the same coin. Get it? Emu lies to and manipulates characters we love just to crush them in the end. And he always has people doing all the fighting for him. It's easy to hate a character like that. You're like, ooh, this character's so evil, he don't even post up like that. Ooh. But I'm getting off topic. Focus! If Teach is gonna be a villain, not in like the evil mastermind working behind the scenes way, then he's gotta make these big, grand acts of villainy. And usually that involves killing a character. And it can't be any more of this, oh yeah, beloved character, you wanna pick a fight with me, Blackbeard? Akainu, this guy right here. That's not gonna fly. The bad guy needs to do bad guy things. He needs to take away from us, the audience, and he needs to do it with his own two hands. The best way to do that is probably by letting Blackbeard kill Shanks. They fought before, in which Shanks sustains his eye scar. Red Hair warns Whitebeard about how dangerous Blackbeard is. He shows up at Wano hoping to intercept him. And when Luffy first meets Teach, he has a flashback to both Ace and Shanks. It's entirely plausible for Shanks to get himself killed by Blackbeard. It really wouldn't need that much setup. And when that does happen, I won't care. What I'm emotionally invested in is the promise Luffy made to Shanks. For Blackbeard to reach ultimate villain status, he needs to take the meaning of the straw hat away. Luffy and Shanks are heading towards each other. They're about to meet, about to have that reunion, and oh, it's gonna be such a beautiful scene. But then Emu does some over here and Luffy goes running. And then Blackbeard is doing some over here, and as we discussed, it's on site for Shanks. And then you kill his ass. Now all those times Shanks had the opportunity to meet up with Luffy and didn't take it become tragic. And it's just like, it's just chef's kiss, it's beautiful. Keep in mind, if Luffy gets to hold a dying Shanks in his arms and Shanks gets the whole, Luffy, you've grown so much, oh, what a splendid pirate you become, it will negate everything we're trying to do here. If Luffy wants closure, he's gonna have to put the hat on Shanks's tombstone at the end of the story. The point is that Luffy's ability to keep that promise in the truest sense of meeting up with Shanks while he's still alive and returning the hat is forcefully taken away from him. And not necessarily because of anything Luffy does wrong. My concern is that Oda is not capable of that. You remember that great scene I was talking about earlier where Pell sacrifices himself to save Vivi and all her friends in Alabasta, and it's always a beautiful scene. You know that he lives. You know that all these characters lives. One Piece is a story plagued with fake out deaths. Oda has said in interviews how he hates when stories get too serious and has a preference for happy endings. If Kaido wasn't even allowed to kill the 9 red scabbards, I don't see Teach catching any major bodies. But if Oda is willing to let Blackbeard kill major characters, we will be aware of that fact very soon. Because if we're serious about making Teach the final fight of One Piece, he's gonna have to kill Garp. And I don't mean like he orders his death or sets things in motion to cause his death or has him executed. He needs to do it with his own 2 mitts. We can't have Blackbeard out here catching half the family tree on a technicality. Garp is a feel-good character that's easy to like, to the point that a lot of people are willing to overlook the whole defending slavery thing. So he's perfect for building up Blackbeard's villainy. These are both very necessary deaths to get Blackbeard to that final boss level. But as things are right now, Emu is conniving, manipulative, and is responsible for most of the terrible events that have happened in the One Piece story. If things don't change, Emu has to be the final fight. There's so much more concrete connections there that you can just lay your hands on and get a good grip in it. Oda, if you aren't willing to let Blackbeard kill Garp or Shanks because it would take away from Luffy's happy ending, then at the very least, let him kill Gaimon or something, please.